All right, welcome to our very first podcast here at Chapman Chats. My name is Jason Penny.
I'm Bronson.
And we are here to film our very first podcast for you and what we plan to bring and kind of lay out who we are and what we plan to do. We are here at Chapman BMW in Chandler. We're one of the largest BMW dealers in the whole country, and that puts us in a very unique position to bring you guys some very exciting content. We've got millions of dollars of inventory, but we also wanted to bring to you what we do here every day and also talk about automotive news and things going on in the industry for both buyers and enthusiasts. So I've been here at the dealership for almost 8 years. I've been in sales the whole time, but I've been a car enthusiast my entire life, and I'm very passionate about cars. And I'm not really beholden to any one brand, although I do love BMW. I like everything from old classics to modern cars. Just grown up being a big fan my entire life, and I know Bronson, you've always been a fan as well.
Yeah, I'm a very big car enthusiast, but specifically, I'd say my love and passion for cars is definitely within BMW. So I definitely bleed blue more than anything else. But just like Jason, I'm super involved in just learning kind of about the industry, what's going on. Every, car manufacturer has a good car. So it's always interesting to see, what they continue to release. And there's always, going to be cool cars. It doesn't have to just be from BMW. So we just kind of wanted to touch on a lot of things, because there's a ton to talk about in the car industry, especially right now. And I've been selling cars for about 9 months now. So I'm a client advisor. So if you're looking to get anything from me, come check us out. Jason's in the upgrade center. So we just love cars, and it makes being, a salesperson easy. Obviously, I think customers can see that passion from us, but let's just start talking about some stuff.
And Bronson was actually kind of born into this. He, although he's only been selling cars for about 7-8 months, his family has owned and operated dealerships, and he's been a big car fanatic his entire life. So we're excited to bring some content here for you, and we're going to try and figure out what you guys want to see. So if there's something you want to see more of, whether it be reviews, more interviews, car events, more automotive news, we're here to bring what people want to see. So we're excited to hear what you guys think and get feedback from you as well.
The 2026 iX, a vehicle that obviously not really much talk going on about it yet, but I think as we get closer to, the debut here in the next few months, I think it's going to be a hot topic. Now, the car was released in 2023. This was the first rendition of the vehicle. We had iDrive 8 debuting on the car, which was already coming out on some other vehicles like the i4, 3 Series and whatnot. The X5 and other vehicles like that didn't get that till 2024. So this was like one of the first vehicles that we had iDrive 8, which obviously has been a fantastic iDrive system. Mm-hmm. I like it a lot.
And you own an iX.
I actually do have an iX. I have a 25, so I have the iDrive 8.5, which I think is a little bit better than the 8, but
a little snappier.
8 is better, or great, I should say. 8.5 is a little better. But when the car was released in 23,
let's be honest, it had
not the best looking vehicle. I mean,
it was unique. It had some quirkiness to it. Some people love.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And it brought a lot of new technology, and it was definitely a bold statement from BMW in the EV world, because we had not had a fully electric SUV. So this was our debut electric SUV.
It's still our only all-electric SUV.
Exactly. Yeah. And it basically kind of took the place of what an X5 would be fully electric, in terms of size and stuff like that. There is some key differences, but the car is X5, size, which I think a lot of our customers do like. And that's why if they do go the electric route, they're like, hey, I'm going to get an iX instead of an i4 maybe. But yeah, not the best looking vehicle. The front end, we have seen a lot of, dislikeness on that, and the rear end especially as well. But the 26 we want to talk about, just because there's some interesting things going on here.
It's so funny how such a small change in appearance can create such a big dramatic overall effect. It to me, they just tightened up a few little things, but the car now to me looks so much better, and I've always loved driving it. And one thing I think that BMW was really trying to hit on with the iX is that when that car was launched to the market, people really wanted EVs that stood out. At least a big segment of it is. People wanted a car that immediately was recognized as an EV. And BMW also recognized a lot of their buyers didn't want a car that stood out as something different. So that's why we brought the i4, the i5, the i7. If you look at those cars and you put them next to their gasoline counterpart, they look just like in a regular gasoline car, you wouldn't stand out. But they understood there was a segment of buyers that wanted something that looked very tech forward, very kind of almost quirky, something that stood out as a EV. And that's what Ford and the iX, you had some kind of crazy futuristic spaceship looking. And I do like it in some lines, but boy, that 26 update looks so much better. And I think another thing that's important to talk about is BMW and all the manufacturers are going to be switching over eventually to the North American charging standard, which is what a lot of people call the Tesla plug. And so the 26iX is going to bring with it what we've heard and been told. They will arrive with BMW's very first supported connected adapter to allow you to charge on supported Tesla charging networks. Up till now, you've had to use third party. A lot of people are weary about plugging in something that's third party. So that's coming. You'll be able to pick that up in your parts department at your local BMW dealer starting around July. And when the new iX arrives in 2026, we've been told those cars will all ship with the adapter included. So that's very exciting for our EV customers that are looking to utilize that Tesla network with their i4s, i5s. You'll now be able to get a supported adapter for those networks.
Which is a huge deal because we have a lot of clients that are wondering if they can plug into a Tesla charger. And we tell them you can't.
Right.
You know? So I think that's going to be very convenient, obviously, and it's going to help a lot of people out because a lot of our clients like to charge at work or at home, and a lot of our clients are also previous Tesla customers.
Correct.
So they already may have a charger they're familiar with in a certain spot on their way home to work or from work to home or on their way to work from home. And either way now, it'll just be much more convenient for them if they have a wall box or what it may be. So
yeah. And I heard the iX was planned to initially was going to be the first car from BMW with the new North American charging standard plugs to plug in. For some reason, that got pushed back and some other vehicle will be the first. But eventually, BMW is going to be switching over. I'm sure you've heard the news. Most manufacturers are going that route, and BMW is going to be there as well.
Yeah. So a couple things real quick about the iX before we move on is now we have the xDrive 45 as our entry level. That's going to start at about 77,000. And then we are no longer going to have the xDrive 50, which was our entry level before. We are now going to have the xDrive 60. And that's going to start again at 88,000, similar to the xDrive 50. And then our final and last frontier of enjoyment is going to be the M70. So no longer the M60, now the M70. And the M70 makes a big statement coming in around $111,000. And we're looking at around 650 horsepower. So basically, I think this will be good because we have a lot of clients that look at the iX and they go, oh, that's a lot of money. Yeah. 88,000 as a starting point for a vehicle like that. So when we have now a more tailored entry point, for a luxurious electric vehicle like that at 77,000, I think it helps a lot of people out, and they still get the 300 miles. I think that's a really good range point for people.
Seems to be the range people need to feel comfortable, at least,
and not have the range anxiety that we see a lot. So that'll be something that we look forward to for sure. And there's new headlights. The whole front end looks a lot better. And we also get 23-inch wheels. And
those wheels look great.
They look amazing.
Yeah.
And you can also get an M Sport package finally on the vehicle. So that changes the appearance of the car drastically. And you can get a M Sport seat that is a much sportier, heavier bolstered seat. So overall, the iX, I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little bummed that I got my 2025 because now the 26 is much better, but it is what it is.
There's always time for another lease.
Yeah, you just never know. You know what I mean? Even when you're working with BMW, you just never know what we're going to do. So
one of the things I wanted to talk about is how excited we are for the resurgence and rise of fast wagons again in the United States. It's been a big thing in Europe for a long time, and we've had some great models here in the U.S., but it seemed that the manufacturers always thought that the U.S. market wouldn't sustain it. And you saw that with the most recent G80 M3 wagon that was based on that car never came to the United States. And unfortunately, a lot of enthusiasts were very upset about that.
That was at Beamer Invasion.
Yeah.
And it went viral. Like, that was the only one. They brought it in for Beamer Invasion, which is the biggest BMW car show in the entire world. And they do it twice a year. And this one was at Laguna Seca Raceway in California. And it went absolutely nuts.
Oh, I'm sure. I love that car.
And it was gorgeous car. So to your point.
Yeah. And I think BMW realized that they missed it. There was such clamoring for why didn't it come and we would have bought it, that I think that they listened, and they actually, now what we're really excited about is the new M5 Touring coming to the United States. And that car is just an absolute monster. But I wanted to talk about, the Audi RS6 was, I think, the most recent car that caught everybody's attention or caught them off guard. Mercedes has always had their E63 Estate. BMW calls theirs the RS6 Avant. And we've got the M5 Touring, but we've had some other great ones, like even Volvo, their V60 Polestar. That is an amazing car. I love the way it looks. And I'm a big fan of anything that's kind of a sleeper car.
100%.
And something that you can, if you've got one garage space and you need a performance car, but you also have to make a Costco runs and take the kids to soccer, man, there's nothing more sleeper and more amazing than a fast wagon. You can put a ski box on top. I think that just looks amazing. Ferrari's even had the GT-C4 Lusso, which was more of a shooting brake with a two-door design, but I just really appreciate that the market is starting to notice that people want these cars. Not everybody wants an SUV to be performance, and we're really excited about the M5 Touring. Most people know that it's going to be a plug-in hybrid with a 4.4-liter V8 as well as a plug-in electric component to that, and not there to be efficient. That hybrid is there for performance and that instant torque that electric can provide. But it is cool that you can sneak out of your neighborhood on all electric mode if you need to in a quiet morning. So that's also a cool thing. But just excited. I really hope that the market takes notice and starts bringing more models. Mercedes just announced their new E53 AMG. I think they call it the hybrid. It's a plug-in hybrid as well. And I'm sure there's going to be an E63 behind that.
Just like the older generation, which was so popular.
Yeah, it was. I think, they were producing less than 500 of those per year. But then when Audi came out with that RS6, it kind of opened the doors, and suddenly
so much hype.
Yeah,
so much hype.
And I got the RS6, in my opinion, is a beautiful.
It's a great look.
Oh my God, yeah. So
no, Jason's right. I mean, the wagon hype has become a huge thing, and I think TikTok and Instagram have totally made it bigger, than it's ever been. Because I can remember like 10 years ago when I was like, 14, 15, wagons were not something people ever talked about or cared about.
It's very car nerdish. Like the car enthusiasts like the wagons. Like you can have a wagon with 600 horsepower, and all your guy friends are going to like it, and your female friends are going to say, "What are you buying a wagon?" No, it's very car nerdy, but it's all fun there. We're excited for these. Things.
And it's like you said, it's practical. It's really practical. I know that most like moms like it because they can put dogs in the back and stuff like that.
And still blow your doors off.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, TikTok and Instagram have definitely made the wagon a much more popular and hyped vehicle now, and I think it's deserving of it. It obviously looks amazing. And to be honest, when the G90 first got unveiled, as soon as everyone found out how much it weighed and that it was hybrid, people were upset, And I get it. You come off the F90. It's an incredible car that's making 620 horsepower, doing a 0 to 60. The best BMW ever timed it at 2.8 seconds. Everyone's favorite M5 by far. It's going to be hard for the G90 to top that. But honestly, and I know not everyone's going to be able to drive the car. When you drive the car, it feels no different than the previous generation in terms of how it handles the weight. You can't even tell it's there.
They did a great job.
And that's one thing that BMW is really remarkable at doing. And it sounds biased coming from me, but genuinely the weight distribution in that vehicle and just our vehicles in general, it's very, methodically engineered to really, handle well. And to be honest, as soon as the wagon got unveiled, I think a lot of people were like, I don't even want to buy the G90. I'd rather get the wagon, and we've kind of seen that.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of really cool G90s here, and they've kind of just sat. And it's a little heartbreaking for me, but at the same time, I think it's just because the wagon, people know it's available, it's coming, we have them in the production line coming in. And you even mentioned that, the BMW. Yeah. So
to that point, the BMW was planning, I think they were planning originally a 70-30 split with the M5 sedan, and 30% would be the wagon. So they've realized the demand for the wagon is far greater than they anticipated. And now BMW's announced that they're probably going to go to a 50-50 production split. So for every wagon, they'll also build a sedan, which to me, that's great news. I'm very excited to see BMW seeing the trend and moving forward with it and taking note. So we're excited. We're excited.
Hopefully we get that M3 wagon too.
Oh, let's get that back. Come on, BMW. Bring us the M3 wagon. We want it. All right. So the next topic we wanted to talk about was the 2026 being the final model year for the Supra and the BMW Z4. And we're just really kind of sad about it. There's not a lot of these hot roadsters around anymore, and seeing any, obviously the Z4 is the roadster with the drop top, but even the Supra, these two-seat, two-door, no backseat coupes, performance stuff, unfortunately, they're just not selling that well in the market. It takes a unique buyer to have a vehicle with zero backseat, as opposed to something like an M2 or an M240 that has although small, a usable backseat so that you can take kids and friends around. But we're really sad to see this Z4 go, and I think in some ways, BMW never really allowed it to blossom into what it could be. I'm sure you remember the Z3 and the old Z4s of the day. You had true M versions of those cars. You got the wide fenders, the S powertrains, and just some really, really high performance roadsters. Unfortunately, BMW never decided to go the full M route with these new Z4 models. One of the best things I think that they did for revenue was sharing that platform with Toyota. And one of the great things that came out of that was that Toyota developed the manual transmission to go in their Supra, which we benefited from adding that to the Z4 in the later years. But we're just sad to see these cars go. I know that they're a very unique type of model that not everybody can use in their daily lives, but was really hoping they'd bring an M version. We talked a little bit that they had negotiated with Toyota at some point to maybe even bring an M engine into
S58.
Yeah, and they were going to make a pure TRD Supra with an M engine, and unfortunately, I think BMW didn't really want to share that engine, and that kind of held back the Supra. And I think they thought, well, if we're not going to put it in the Z4, we can't have the Supra outperforming that car, although it shares the same platform. Yeah. So we'll see. Last of a dying breed.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe it'll come back as an electric or something in some time. But
what a great car to drive, though. So you drive that car, it feels like you're in a go-kart. Yes. Like it's so nimble, it's so responsive, it's so light. It just feels like you're in a go-kart, right?
So yeah, when your driver's seat passes the bumper of the car next to you, you can get over it. You can get the shortest wheelbase on the road, and that's something about that nimble, knowing where all four corners are, and the tossability of that car. I know it's a convertible. I think that somewhat hindered it a little bit.
100%.
Never brought a hard top to it. If you want to see the hard top, Google Z4 Coupe concept. I say it's a concept, but BMW actually produced it. It drives. It's been shown at events. Gorgeous car.
Looking amazing.
If you look at that car, you tell me that wouldn't have done well in the market. I think the segment was just too slow selling for them to justify the cost.
Kept iDrive 7, that's another thing.
Great
too.
point.
Yeah.
They never really gave the car, in my opinion, the shot it needed. Didn't update it to iDrive 8, as Bronson mentioned. No M versions.
When it debuted, though, when we first got the car, the 2019, I do remember it being hot. It was a hot car. Yeah. I remember doing a couple of deliveries as a Genius, and people were excited about the car. They really liked it. So, but to your point, it just kind of went downhill after that. As soon as we never got a coupe version with a hard top, and the M40 is a fantastic car. You have the B58 engine, which obviously everyone knows what that engine is. That is a fast car with the B58 in it. But yeah, I agree. I just think we kind of flopped that, and especially for a car that's been so it's been such a backbone in our brand, having the Z3, Z4, even the Z8, that car, which I believe was in 007, which is an iconic movie. The movie that had it in there with that car, that was iconic.
Designed by Heinrich Fichter, one of the most famous car designers. That thing has beautiful, almost retro lines in the car. Of course, its placement in the Bond films really helped a lot, but I still get excited every time I see one on a showroom. We had an Alpina. We have a customer with an Alpina Z8 that services it here. Incredible car, but fortunately, these cars are going away. So if you want them, right, BMW, go out and buy them so that they maybe take notice and plan a resurgence. I'm could come back as an electric, all electric.
Even the Supra had a good run.
It did.
And the only difference between the two cars is really the look and the name. because it's on the same chassis.
Even the tech looks like
Toyota's using our tech, actually. It's just different.
Reskinned.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's literally the same car, which I thought ever since Toyota allowed us to make a car for them, that really showed people, and I still tell clients this all the time, like, hey, our brand is good. Our brand's
That's a great point. You know, I mean, the Supra is such a beloved nameplate, and so iconic. So for them to entrust the underpinnings to BMWs, that really shows that they have confidence in the tunability of that engine.
We've come so far. Right?
What do you think about BMW offering up that platform? I mean, obviously they gained revenue from that, the part sharing. Cars it could benefit from getting some extra revenue, but what do you think about BMW giving up some of their tech and R&D?
I think I honestly like the idea. I like it because it, like I just said, it proves that we know how to make a good car. And the fact that Toyota, being Toyota, which is a household name, everyone trusts Toyota, it now allows people to trust us a little more, because it's like, hey, if Toyota allowed us to do that for them, then why wouldn't we give BMW a shot?
Right, because the reliability for Toyota is huge.
It's huge. And we put our B58 in there. We put our 4-cylinder in there. So it just shows, hey, we make a good car. And I like it because I think the new Supra looks good. I haven't driven one, but I know it drives the exact same as a Z4. And it just really just shows you that Toyota is like, we want our car to be very, sporty.
Right.
And we want it to drive like the ultimate driving machine.
Yeah, and I think they know that they're buyers for the Supra. I think they made a very smart choice, Toyota did, because their buyers, that particular model, of course, it attracts a lot of tuners. People don't want to modify their cars and tune those cars. So I think Toyota knew that B58 is extremely capable of taking mods and tune, and that was probably the perfect platform.
Exactly, like the new modern 2JZ and our B58 S50.
That's a great comparison. It really is almost like a modern 2JZ. It can take a ton more boost and a lot more power than it can even in stock form. So I think that was really smart on their part.
100%. So,
all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning into our very first episode. We're excited to bring you more content. Let us know what you'd like to see more of. Reviews. We're going to bring you automotive news in each one. We're going to go to some events and just try and bring some exciting content. Like we said, we were uniquely positioned with tens of millions of dollars of inventory at our disposal. So let us know what you want to see, and we'll try and bring that to you. And we hope to grow the channel in a way that will be exciting for you guys at home. And we're excited to see you in the showroom.
Yeah. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And we look forward to seeing you next time.